doing gym duty. I'm in gym duty, and all the prefects start coming in there. I'm like, oh shit, something going down. This little kid was wandering the hallways, Brandon. They caught him. They were like, who are you here with? Why are you still here? Get out of border. He was like, I'm here with Coach Cunningham. Boom, done. I got fired the next day. I cried for like 2 weeks straight for real because I was like, what am I? I failed at football, which was like something I put all my heart and soul into for 10 years of my life or more. And then I failed at having a job, which is like the next step after not playing football. I was like, okay, now you got to get a job. And I failed at that. So I was like, fuck, what do I do now? Like, I don't know what I should be doing. I don't know who I am. Without football, I'm nothing. Now without a job, I'm even more nothing. I'm at ground zero. I'm absolutely, to me, during those 2 weeks, I was literally so deprecating, just beating myself up every day. Like, you're nothing. You're nothing.
How did you overcome that? I mean, that was a devastating challenge where you had to face some obstacles, right? So how did you overcome that?
Thank God for just promise. You know, I think we all have a promise in life as we are born each day. We have a new beginning, new opportunity every day. So I got reached out to by a friend from high school. I went to another little prestigious school here in Maryland called Landon in Bethesda, and went there for like 6 years and got to get close with the family there. And then the Bisno family, they're very known in the DC area. And their son, Elliot, started a company called Summit Series in 2008 or 9. And they had a couple events here in DC, a couple events abroad. And they created this hub for their community in Eden, Utah. And so he reached out to me when I, like 2 or 3 weeks after I got fired. He hosts the Sweet Life Festival here in DC. He was like, yo, you should come to the festival. I was like, I'm good. That's not my type of scene. He was like, yo, at least come to the dinner. I was like, nah, I'm good on that too. I was just in a funk. I was like, I don't want to fuck with nobody right now. Yeah. I'm just going to be in myself, and I'm going to beat myself up because I'm good at that. And my brother reached out to me. He's like, yo, Elliot reached out to me. You sure you don't want to go to the dinner? I'm going to the dinner with my sister-in-law. I'm like, okay. Now my brother's going, my sister-in-law's going. I should probably show up since I'm the one who created this relationship because we went to school together. So I went, and I was just coming off of a dinner that I got drunk at, heading to this dinner. I was just so funky, bro, like just funky. Didn't want to deal with nothing, just wanted to drown myself. And I get to the dinner, I open the door, and the first person I see is Elliot. And he's very interesting. His family's interesting. Like that whole world of private schools, it's all interesting. I open the door, he's like, yo, what's your dream? And I was like, fuck, I don't got time for this today. I don't got time for this private school white world. I don't have time for this right now. I'm just trying to get a little grub and get out of here. He was like, what's your dream, Jacy? And I was like, well, you know, Elliot, I've always wanted to start my own gym. I always wanted to have my own space and do my own thing and create my own class and create my own method and just have my own shit. And he was like, well, Josh, listen, let's talk. So the whole night we're talking. He's like, I want to take you upstairs. I want to show you something on my computer. I'm like, bet, show me. He's like, it's the first like couple of videos that Summit Series had done. They did a thing called DC 10. Bill Clinton spoke at it. Aloe Black was a singer. It was a bunch of things happening in that space. And then they did a Summit at Sea. They did Squaw Valley. And he was showing me their events. And I was like, whatever this is, I want in. Like, this is the most beautiful community. This is gorgeous. Like, who shot this? Like, what is this? And so he invited me out. He said, come out for 2 weeks and we'll see. And I was like, all right, bet. So I'm looking up Summit Series for 2 weeks. Like, yo, what is this magical place? And online on Wikipedia, it says it's in Malibu, California. I'm like, I hit the jackpot. I got fired from a job and I got hired for a job that I have my own gym and it's in Malibu. I'm like, yo, this is the best, this is a dream. And then I get a phone call like 3 days before I'm about to like say yes and commit. And Josh Zabar was one of the, I guess, moderators of the whole community and everything. He's like, yo, you know we're in Eden, Utah, right? And I'm like, what you mean you're in Utah? Like, nobody told me about Utah. I thought this was in Miami and California. Like, this was some spunky hot shit. He's like, nah, it's in Utah. It's in Eden. He's like, it's like an hour outside of Salt Lake City. I'm like, dog, I don't know about this now. Utah, I'm black. I'm like, I don't even know how many brothers are in Eden, Utah. He's like, I'm gonna just be real with you, Jacy, none. I was like, all right, but now what am I gonna do? Like, you're making this hard to be a decision to make. So I made the decision. My mom was like, listen, you gotta go do something. You're not gonna clown around here. So, and just wallow in self-pity and shame all day. So I took the job, moved to Utah, lived in Utah for 4 years, 4.5 years. Some of it's probably the best experience of my life. Being a part of that community helped me birth everything I'm doing. It gave me legs and arms into the world that I never knew existed. I got to attend events like Burning Man and Coachella and all these things that to me were experiences only afforded by the privilege. And so I realized that I had a certain pivot point towards white privilege. I was proximal to it always since 6th grade. That was kind of like what I kind of understood about the world was that, okay, they have money, we struggle. They have money, we struggle. And so it became an easier community to navigate. And those 4 years showed me that there was a purpose behind my journey in life, behind going to private school early, being one of 4 boys and being the only one to be afforded that experience, getting fired from a job that I thought I loved. I thought I was gonna be a strength coach forever at a high school that, like, that's not me. But I thought that was me because when you're 24 years old, you don't know any better. So I was like, boom, this is my lot. God, I'm taking it. And to see what I spawned from that community at Summit and confidence I gained from being a part of that world, and also seeing like that elite communities need a lot of help in understanding how to truly be a community, not just a bunch of wealthy, accessible, rich whites. So I found that that was a certain narrative that I got used to. And once I exited Summit through a relationship and moved to Rio de Janeiro and lived in Brazil for a while, I got to understand once again that promise that I was on that path. Like all these steps that I thought were taken backwards were actually steps that were catapulting me forward. And I had no idea until I landed in a place and I'm like, oh shit, this is why I'm here. And so that's been like my experience of my career. It's been like, okay, I don't want to do this shit no more. And then boom, aha moment comes in, or an opportunity comes in. It's like, yo, keep going, like keep doing what you're doing and keep doing what you've been doing. And this pandemic showed me again to stay on my path, because being one that produces a lot of content for social media, it can be a little lonely, that space, and you're depending on the opinions of others often, which is a very damaging space for someone's mind and psyche. So now seeing that the things that I used to get angry about and frustrated about, the content that I used to want people to really absorb, is now the content that they're looking for, the content that they need. That's been something that's been very interesting to see. So the work has gone from, Utah, getting fired, going to Utah and becoming like a starlet within a very, very non-diverse community. And then coming out of that community with all these networks and all these, opportunities, and choosing to go live in another country and just following whatever my little heart says, basically, is what I've been doing with my career. And I'm really big on that, because often we're so quick to plan so far in advance our lives, and not knowing that an opportunity or a moment can happen within that time that can push us in a different direction. And either we say yes to that direction or we say no. And often I've been one to say yes. And so I think that's the message that I always try to give to people, is just, if your gut is telling you something, your intuition is saying, go with this, then go with it and see what it can become. And I've done that every year, basically. And I've found something every year that has called me back to our purpose. Like I wanted to quit fitness and get out of fitness. And then Alo Moves, which is like a major fitness app, hit me up on Instagram in my DMs and was like, yo, we want to work with you. And I was like, really? Like, I only have 5,000 followers at the time. Like, why do you want to work with me? You guys are a bigger brand. Like, you guys represent the big conglomerate. Like, you want little old me? And like, yeah, we do. And I was like, all right, cool. And so it called me back into fitness and got me back into like, okay, Jacy, you can't run from your purpose. And I think the further we run from our purpose, the more pain that we experience that we don't necessarily have to experience. And so, all the things I'm on to now and what I'm focused on now is that, just continue to fuel that passion every day for why I'm doing what I'm doing, and for why I'm given these days, because I know many people that have come before me that haven't been given these opportunities or these days. And so for me to have another day, to have another opportunity or anything, I'm just grateful for it. And as long as I continue expressing that, it seems to be working.